In any case, TexasFootball.com/coach changes where you can find all the Texas high school football coaching changes. And there are a lot of them. I believe we are over 120 now. A lot of coaching, maybe not over 120, but at least over 100. A lot of coaching changes have come down. And so, but they're not all created equal. And I think we all recognize that not every job is a high-profile job, and not every job is the biggest job in the state. But there are some huge jobs still open. Now, we are right in the thick of silly season. I would say that most of these, we probably got another 5 weeks of this. Did you say? Probably by end of March, most of things starts to slow down.
Starts to slow down, but there's always one or two wild ones in the last 90 days that
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa, where'd that come from?
There's always one that happens like 3 days before we go to press on the magazine.
Yeah.
There's always one that happens. So I want to look at the open jobs right now. Okay? So this doesn't include the Woodlands, which promoted their defensive coordinator yesterday.
Right. Doesn't include South Lake Carroll?
Doesn't include South Lake Carroll because it's not open yet. We think it could be, but it's not open yet.
That garbage fire over there.
It does not include other jobs that I will say that there are some jobs that are open right now that we know are not open, that they have made a hire, they just can't announce it yet.
Right.
So I'm not going to include those either. In any case, we've got 5 jobs, the biggest Texas high school football jobs open right now across all classifications. Some honorable mentions real quick. Austin LBJ, probably the biggest job open in Austin, although McAllen may have something to say with that. Although, I think LBJ is generally seen as, if not the strongest, then one of the strongest Austin ISD teams. And with the passing of Andrew Jackson, that job remains a very big job in this capital city. Ira Ann, Mark Kiroff, out in West Texas, has retired, well-earned retirement. But Ira Ann is open.
I believe reports out there say that they've got a coach, though.
They've got a coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Promoting from within.
I hadn't seen that. There you go. And Navasota.
Your buddy, Lee Teal. Shout out to Lee Teal.
That's right.
He tried to tell you.
I know he did. Navasota as well. Navasota, I think, it gets an honorable mention as a big job.
If you listen to Step, they got some interesting choices there.
5 biggest jobs open right now. Let's start with number 5. Start with Richmond George Ranch.
Yeah, man.
Anytime you've got a state championship in your catalog, you're going to be a pretty big job.
Yeah.
And down there in the Houston area, George Ranch has very quickly ascended to being one of the premier football programs in H-Town. Mm-hmm. They are absolutely positively one of the biggest jobs and big shoes to fill because you are filling the shoes of the only coach the Longhorns have ever had as Ricky Tullis moves over and takes a job at Pearland. So now you're looking at Richmond George Ranch, where they are 59-17 in their last 6 seasons, including that state championship. Mm-hmm. Big shoes to fill and big expectations. That's a huge job for somebody out there, a huge job in the Houston area. It's the 5th biggest job in the state that's open right now, in my opinion. Number 4, Monahans. This one, I think people forget.
Yeah.
I think maybe because it's a 4A job, and we focus so much on 6A and 5A. But Monahans is a great gig.
Yeah.
First of all, you're taking over for a legend. Mickey Owens was incredible there for 13 years, went 121-41 in his 13 years. That is a football nutso town. That is a program that always has talent.
Yep.
That is a program where the community has bought in.
Yeah.
It's a community where they have invested in facilities. It's a good gig.
Yeah.
Out there in West Texas.
Yeah, I believe Lance Leonard, our friend up in the Panhandle, reporting that Coach Mel Maxfield, has interviewed for the job.
I'm telling you,
he'd be a good fit.
This is a big job that's going to get a lot of interest from around the state, just because of the nature of that program.
Yeah.
Which is it's got such a stellar reputation that I think that Monahans is going to be a big time gig. Going to be a big time gig. So that is what did Step send us?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. He sent me something I've already seen. Okay. Number 4. Number 3, Max. Manville.
Yep.
And you're thinking, wait a second, Tepper.
Why isn't this higher?
So, Manville's obviously a huge gig. I don't think there's any question when you play for a state championship like they did last year, and you are just kind of the talent factory that they are, that filling the shoes that Kirk Martin is leaving behind because he's going to become the quarterback's coach at Syracuse is a monumental task. This is a huge district, or this is a huge job. This is a massive job that I think there are reasons that this job got better and there are reasons that this job got worse. Reasons that this job got worse is the opening of Valve and Shadow Creek.
Yeah.
They are going to take some of the kids that normally went to Manville, and that is going to make it so that you don't have as much talent as you normally do.
Yeah.
But I think this is a perfect example of a school that really benefited from the division split in 5A.
Yeah.
That now they're 5A Division 2.
Yep.
So they won't see Highland Park,
Right.
who can rip their guts out in the final seconds.
Right.
So Manville is a super intriguing job
Yeah.
and a big job. A big job, high expectations there. That's
Yeah.
a very big job. It is, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, in general, it's going to be fascinating to watch both Manville and Shadow Creek develop over the next few years. Is there going to be a rivalry? Which team's going to rise up? It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the talent lies. Like, we're going to get a really good feel for the geography of Alvin here in the next couple years.
Yeah.
Because of where the district lines are drawn. And for me, Manville remains a super hot job that I think is already drawing a ton of interest from around the state. It's the third biggest job open right now. The second biggest job open right now is Richland Springs, the Coyotes. And I know that there's 11-man snobs who are rolling their eyes and saying, "Oh, a 6-man job." Guys, they got 8 dang state championships.
Since 2004.
8 since 2004. Okay? This is if you want to say this is the program of this century, is what this program is.
Right.
Like, forget, like remove every little thing you know about it, okay?
Yeah.
If I were to tell you that a program has 8 state championships in the last 14 years, you'd say, okay, yeah, that's the best program in the state.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, it has high expectations, obviously, okay? But when Jerry Burkhart said that he was leaving to go take the job at Stanton, all of a sudden, the hottest 6-man job in the world, and, in my opinion, the second biggest job in the state, opened up. It's a huge gig for the 6-man community. It's a huge gig for Texas. Like, it's a mammoth gig down there. It's the second biggest gig in the state. And the number one job, in my opinion, that's open right now is DeSoto. I think that you can move this around if you want.
Yeah, you can definitely make an argument that the politics and infighting over there make
So-
this job a lot lower on the list.
In my opinion, you have to separate things, right? If you just look at the football program, this is in one of the most talent-rich areas in the state. This is a program that now has a state championship. This is a program that is perennially a 10-win, 11-win, 12-win team. This is one of the best programs in the state. There is that. If you just look at that, you would say, my goodness, this is a monster job. And then there's the other side.
Boy, I don't know.
Which is the politics of the matter. And dealing with what appears to be a school board that does what they want, regardless of what anybody else thinks. There's a lot of different moving parts. It is not a job. I will say this. DeSoto is a great job. That is not for everybody.
No.
You have got to know what you're getting into. And it takes a certain type of person who can navigate, who can both be a great football coach and navigate the murky political waters. Because, again, I really believe, dating back to the Todd Peterman thing last year, I think that the DeSoto brand has been tarnished over the past 18 months.
You can say the same thing about Southlake. I mean,
think
both
you can
the
say the
Southlake
same
and
thing about
DeSoto
Southlake.
right now are looking like less attractive jobs because of how their boards are handling
Because of the politics. Yeah. That said, let's also just look at the football program itself, and it's a monster.
Yeah.
It is a tremendous gig if you feel like you can navigate the political waters.
Yeah.
If you feel like you can do that, there's not a better gig in the state. in my opinion, that's open right now. Those are my top 5 biggest Texas high school football coaching vacancies right now.